Good morning. It is warm and humid. The air is very thick this morning. So I know I got some beans to pick, so I came out here to do that before it gets hot. Today and tomorrow are the heat warning days for our forecast for here in Ohio. It's supposed to get uncomfortably warm, so I come out here to pick this morning and get that done. So, but everything's looking good. Even the weeds. So I'll pick some beans. Some beans to pick. The girls are inside. Raya has taken it upon herself to be little teacher. So they're doing Ellie's school time. So my purpose for growing beans is to can them. And I know that I can store the beans in a bag, poke some holes in the bag for air, and I know I can store them for a few days in the fridge. So I'm going to pick everything that's pickable this morning and see what I've got, and then once I have enough for a full batch, I'm going to can them. So if I'm going to heat up the kitchen, I want to make sure sorry, I had a fly on me. Yeah, I want to make sure I can fill the canner if I'm going to heat up the kitchen. But I did put our air conditioner in. Maybe I'll show you that here in a little bit at the end of this video. It's a little bit hillbilly, but it's keeping the house cool. So yeah, I'm going to pick some beans. Catch you later. Okay, so girls and I are done picking beans, and I actually had a lot more out there than I thought, and there's a lot more coming on. So this is exciting because the last time 2 years ago when we had a garden at the place we lived before here, our pole beans didn't do well. Bugs got to them when they were young plants, and I just was not able to keep the bugs off of them. And so, the plants just did not do well. So we did not get much harvest from those bean plants. And I did can, that year I did can what I had gotten, but I bought some beans to put with the ones that we grew just to have like one batch in the canner. So I think this year is definitely going to be different. So yeah, just homegrown green beans, no chemicals, no nothing. Pretty exciting for me. And this might be a batch in the canner. It might be. So I'm gonna wash them up, I think, and see what I've got. So yeah, a lot more than I thought. This bag that's laying on is like a paper, grocery bag, and it was not quite halfway full. The bag got wet, so I just opened it up. But so that was a good first bean harvest. And while I'm on here, I'll show you our air conditioner. If anything, you'll get a smile out of it. Okay, so we have this front door that doesn't get used ever as a door to go in and out. We use the other door. And we did not have a window in the downstairs of this house that would work for this air conditioner. The upstairs windows would work, but this is our living space, our main living space, so I decided it would be better to try to use it down here versus putting it upstairs where we don't spend a whole lot of time, except the girls' bedrooms are up there, you know, and their playroom. But with fans in the windows and that, we can keep it fairly comfortable up there, you know, especially in the evening, you know, before bedtime. So I had to think outside the box a little bit, and I called it, my husband calls it hillbilly ingenuity. And I mentioned that yesterday when I was in the midst of this project, and Raya, she asked me, what's that? And I said, that is figuring out a way to make something work that it wouldn't normally be done that way. And so I just took the bottom glass out of the storm door. I measured, of course, first to make sure it would fit. And I took the bottom glass out of the storm door and put the air conditioner in there. I propped it up outside, hung up a little curtain, and there we go. And it's nice and cool and comfy in there, in here. You see that says 70 degrees, which is just in time for how warm it's supposed to be these next couple of days. So I will, I'll go outside and show you what I did outside to prop it up. All right, and here we are outside. I didn't want to, you know, have the door frame actually supporting the weight of the air conditioner because it is heavy. So here it is, crates and a couple of boards, and it's good to go. And I put a brace here to brace it in. Filled the gaps with some old rags, and it's keeping our house nice and cool. And it is humid out here. So we got a new little brood feeder out there, the gazebo. I don't think the birds have discovered it yet. And little Mama Wren, is she in there? We're gonna have babies hatching soon, I think. I don't know if they are or not. I can't see in there. It's hard to see. So I am here in my kitchen, and this morning I am starting the process of canning the green beans that we picked yesterday, and not getting quite as early of a start as I had wanted to, but that's okay. So I took the beans out earlier, and I rinsed them off outside because I had quite a few grass clippings and that had gotten sprayed on them the other day when I mowed. So I rinsed them off outside, and so now all I have here is have them sitting in the sink in cold water, and I'm gonna wash them good and snap them, and I'll get my little fingers to help me with that. Right now they're outside tending to the chickens, but I'll get them to help me snap the ends, and I'll fill this side of the sink with cold water and put them over there for the rinse. And then I have my jars that are washed, and so I'll just then put them in the sink in some hot water, and I'll get my canner out, get it ready to go, and get this going. This is the original Snapchat. Here, hold your bean. Raya wants to talk about vegetables.
Yeah.
Oops, I brought a push.
So sometimes You know how if your kid doesn't really want to eat your vegetables?
Sometimes, yes. Yes.
Well, you just have to say that vegetables are actually tasty because I like the vegetables.
Vegetables are tasty. Okay, so I've got my beans ready. I've got my jars ready. And I've got my canner ready. This is kind of a nice little guide that came with the canner. This canner was a gift from my mom for my birthday last year or the year before. I don't remember. But this has basic instructions, for pressure canning fruits and vegetables, meats. There's recipes in the back. It's just a kind of a handy little guide. And so this is what I'm using for the green beans. I'll do the raw pack, and I will do it at the 10 pounds pressure, and since I'm doing quarts, it'll be for 25 minutes. So I was saying that canning is something that I saw a lot when I was young. My dad liked to grow a garden, and so we would grow a garden, and then my grandma did a lot of canning, and she canned other things too besides what we grew in the garden. But growing up, it's not something that I learned until just a few years ago. That was something I said I wanted to learn for a long time, and it's definitely not something that's difficult, and it's just, I guess, one of those things that has kind of gotten lost in recent generations, or not recent generations, but the younger generation. And I think it's important. I think it's an important thing to know. So I'm glad that I do know it now, so I can teach my girls and they can see it be done. And so yeah, I'm just I'm thankful for the resources. So so what I'm doing now, I am just, some people cut their beans, but I leave mine long, and just kind of stuff them in there. For raw pack, you can pack them tighter. And make sure my water gets hot again. Thank you. What is it? That's fine.
It's this one.
Okay. So, anyway, leave 1 inch headspace, which is just about to the bottom of the rim there. Make sure there's nothing on the top of the jar to prevent it from sealing. Put my lid on. Put my ring on. Snug. Don't over tighten it. Set it in the canner. But anyway, so aside from learning or seeing canning done when I was a child, I didn't really have the opportunity much to learn the process and get shown the process until a few years ago. A dear lady we know by the name of Ramona, she kind of got me started on canning, and then it wasn't long, I think it was then the next year is when my mom got me the canner. And so I've done some canning. My goal is to can more this year than I have in the past. I would like to, I'm going to get apples. I really like to can applesauce. That's something that our whole family loves. And I want to definitely can with our harvest from the garden. With the tomatoes, I want to do tomato sauce. I like to make my own spaghetti sauce, my own salsa, stuff like that. So I didn't have enough for 7 quarts, but I got 5. So I'm happy with that. I'll take it. So they are ready to go. Get the lid on the canner and get it on the stove. I love the pop. 5 beautiful quarts of homegrown garden green beans. Praise Yah. It's a good productive day, I think.